I would like to describe the strategy clock, which is a way in which we can look at the generic strategies that it's possible to adopt when we're trying to decide how are we going to position ourselves in a particular market. So you will see on my right a drawing of the strategy clock, and I will rapidly go through the various options, which are combinations of value added and price that are open to you to select when you're going for a generic strategy. Strategy 1 is the low price, pilot high, sell it cheap approach. It can work, and it can work if you've got very tight control over your costs, or possibly you can get to sources of products that enable you to sell cheap. Many people do well out of that, but a lot of people lose as well. Strategy 2 is a race to the bottom. This is where you reduce price without doing anything else. You just reduce price. You say the market's there, we've got to be cheaper than that, and in no time at all you've got a race to the bottom price. Everybody is trying to beat everybody else and nobody makes any profit. 3 is quite different. This is where you offer greater value added and at the same time lower price. You often see that in technology companies, where you can now buy a laptop computer for about half the price you could a few years ago, because good technology has enabled you to get your costs down, and apart from getting your costs down, you're able to get your sales up, so you achieve economies of scale. So that's good if you can do it, but mostly the technology is the key to that. Number 4 is a more common strategy, and that says differentiation. Always try and provide something that's different and better. And if you can do that at your current price, then you should do well, and it's a good strategy to adopt. 5 is also a good strategy, but this enables you to increase your prices a little bit, and within limits that's possible and should give you better profits. Then we get to the 3 really bad strategies, which are 6, 7 and 8. 6, you increase your price but no improvement in value. 7, you increase your price but you even decrease the value added. And 8, you reduce the value added but you keep the price the same. A lower bang for your buck, as the Americans would say, and therefore the only possibility of selling in 6, 7 and 8 is if there's very strong demand and very limited supply. So until supply increases, you may be okay and be able to get rid of your product, but they're not good strategies. So if we try and summarize from the strategy clock, 1 is acceptable in certain limited conditions, 2 is bad, 3, 4 and 5 can be good strategies if the circumstances allow, and 6, 7 and 8 are bad. Having selected one, you should keep to that strategy and then go into some detail as to what does that mean for us and how will we actually do it. So the use of the strategy clock can be a very powerful means of selecting a generic strategy.